It's Monday morning. Your office manager walks in, drops their keys on your desk, and says, I'm done. No 2-week notice, no exit interview, just gone. Or maybe you're on the other side. You need to make a fast staffing change for the good of your team. You walk out onto the floor, grab 2 employees, and say, You're fired. Pack your bags. That, my friends, is the beautiful and brutal reality of at-will employment. It sounds simple. You can terminate someone at any time for any legal reason or no reason at all. But here's the kicker. Simple doesn't mean safe. Today, we're diving into what at-will employment really is, what it's not, and how to use it strategically without ending up in a lawsuit or wrecking your culture. This is the Don't HR Alone podcast. I'm Rhamy Alejeal, CEO of People Processes, where we help you stop pushing paper and start prioritizing people. Let's get into it. At-will employment is the default in most of the United States. It's baked into how we hire, manage, and terminate. But it's also one of the most misunderstood and misused concepts in people operations. Too many business leaders treat it as we're an at-will employer, like a get-out-of-jail free card. It's not. Even in an at-will state, how and why you terminate still matters a lot. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through what at-will employment actually means, legally and practically, the real pros and cons for both you and your team, the most common exceptions that can blow up your case, and the steps you can take right now to protect your company, your culture, and your people. Let's break it down. At-will employment means either party, you or the employee, can end the working relationship at any time for any legal reason or for no reason at all. There's no need for a contract. There's no required notice. It's meant to be flexible, and in theory, it is. But here's where people get tripped up. Just because you can terminate someone doesn't mean you should, especially without documentations, consistency, or a clear process. Why? Because if the employee feels like the termination was based on discrimination, retaliation, or a protected activity, you're exposed, and at-will won't protect you. The pros of at-will are that you can restructure quickly for employers. You can cut underperformers, shift roles, and adapt to market changes. There's no need for long-term contracts or legal justification. There's less red tape, which is faster decisions. For employees, there's an advantage to at-will too. You're not trapped in a bad job under a contract. You can leave for a better fit, normally with no strings attached. They have leverage to negotiate raises or benefits. Someone wants to give you a big project and you think that it deserves more money? Go, hey, I want more money, or I'm not going to do it. You get to negotiate at will as well. It creates a flexible, dynamic environment when done right. The cons for employers is that it creates uncertainty. Because your best people can leave in an instant, you have no contract to hold them to the job for a longer term without some sort of repercussion. It can lead to disengagement if your people don't feel secure. Sometimes a contract can be a recruiting tool effectively, allowing you to a degree, guarantee employment under many circumstances so that people are willing to leave a less secure job. It gives some managers the dangerous illusion that documentation isn't necessary as well. They go, we're at will. I don't need to write anything down. You're fired. Doesn't work that way. For employees, it can feel unstable or arbitrary if leadership isn't clear. If there's no communication or consistency, it can breed fear, not trust. And if your employees fear you, they're not getting much work done. Fear kills morale, engagement, and performance. All right. The big exceptions to at will that you can't ignore. This is the part that gets even well-meaning employers in trouble because at will is not absolute. It has quite a few exceptions. The first is the public policy exception. You can't fire someone for exercising a legal right, like reporting harassment, taking medical leave, or filing workers' comp, reporting an injury. You can't terminate based on or even result in a pattern of race, gender, age, religion, disability, or other protected class discrimination. There's a discrimination loophole. You can fire people for no reason, but you can't fire them for any reason, just the any legal ones. And discrimination is protected. There's also the key that comes up quite often is an implied contract. Verbal promises, offer letters, or even poorly written handbook language can accidentally create job security. That means a court might treat it like a contract, whether you intended to or not, even if you just wrote under it, this is all meant to be at will. One of the most common things that I've seen in court cases that we've worked on is these silly probationary periods. I'm going to hire you to be my stylist in my salon, but we're going to put a probationary period in for 4 weeks or 8 weeks. In that 4 or 8 weeks, I can fire you for any reason just because it isn't working out. And then after that, you're going to be a full-time employee. Okay. If you would put those words in there, a probationary period in which you can fire people at any time for any legal reason, what changed at the end of the probationary period? You've implied by using the words probationary period when we can fire you for any reason, that after the probationary period, they're offered this job security. You've created a contract. I see this in especially legacy businesses that have been around a while, because this has really all changed in the last 20 years. But the number of groups from the 90s that still do this, it's crazy. You're giving up your at will, and often unintentionally. Those implied contracts you got to look out to. There's also two other exemptions, the good faith and fair dealing. Some states, not all of them, require employers act in good faith. You can't terminate someone just to dodge paying a bonus or a commission. So if you have incentive pay structures that say, if you get to December, in December, we're going to do annual bonuses based on your work that year, and then you do a bunch of firings in November, got to watch that. That's a good faith and fair dealing violation in a lot of states. And the fifth exception is the state of Montana. Shout out. That's the only state in the U.S. where at will doesn't apply. They have a probationary period, like I just talked about, but after that, you need good cause to terminate, period. You have to give it's not, you can fire for any reason that's legal. It's, you have to have a good cause reason to terminate. That's the state of Montana. All right. If you think at will means you can fire someone just because they irritated you, well, you can, but you better be able to prove that it's not because of discrimination. It's not in violation of an implied contract. It's not because they've exercised their legal right, like reporting harassment. And it's not to get out of paying them a bonus or a commission. And also, you're not in Montana. Okay? Here's what you can do right now to use at will employment wisely and legally. 1, audit your documents, review your handbooks, onboarding materials, and offer letters. They should clearly state your at will policy, and they should be consistent across the board. Avoid silly implied promises that say you're going to work here forever, or we can only fire you at will in a certain period. Step 2, train your managers. This is your first line of defense and your first line of legal risk. Make sure they know what at will actually means and how to conduct proper terminations. Document everything. Yes, even in an at will state. Use progressive discipline, take notes, report incidents, send follow-ups. That documentation is your shield in a dispute. You can fire people for any reason that's legal. If they allege that it's an illegal termination, you need documentation that shows, no, it's because you showed up late 27 times in a row. I mean, this is obvious, but you have to have written it down. You have to have communicated it. Otherwise, it's really difficult if there's even the potential perception of discrimination or retaliation. If your culture's a revolving door, it's not a policy problem, it's a leadership one. Invest in clarity, communication, and consistency. That's part of building a strong culture. Just because you're at will doesn't mean that your employees should feel like they're going to get fired tomorrow for no reason, right? It's a bad way to run a business. So you want the flexibility, but you don't want to abuse it. If all that sounds overwhelming, that's where our Complete HR program comes in. We help you set up airtight documentation, train your managers, and build HR that actually works. Not one that blows up in your inbox, right? With a lawsuit. So check us out on there if you need to. In this episode, if it made you pause and think, maybe we're not as protected as we thought. Good. That's correct. At will employment is a tool. And if you're not using it wisely, it can do more harm than good. You can download our free progressive discipline guide from the episode description. It'll walk you through how to document these sorts of things the right way. You can also book a free 30-minute consultation with me. I do them personally for US-based business owners with 10 or more employees. No pressure, just help, just ask your questions. If you're also an HR executive or CFO or something, that's fine. You don't have to be the owner. And I'll be happy just to consult. It may lead to more working together. It may not. 30 minutes of my time just to help you out. If this episode helped you, please hit subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a fellow business leader. I read and respond to every single comment. Until next time, go out there, have a great day, and get your work done.